The SE per fast game.
I'm gonna load up the Conqueror here, because what farm salt better than Conqueror, right?
Battleship AP pens on destroyers.
Carriers.
Alright, yeah, carriers works too. My game is derping out. Come on, game. So this is Skywell and the Conqueror. So while this loads up, guys, for those of you that are ranked out,
I make many mistakes.
any tips for people who are still working unranked, like me, you could share?
Pray to the matchmaking gods. Pray hard. That's how I got to rank 1.
I feel like play something that you can influence the game with.
Mm-hmm.
Shima, Kappa.
Well,
Or
Shima
or
doesn't do
GK.
terrible.
Oh, you're using the big guns.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I do. I make many mistakes.
Is the big guns one of them?
No, I actually like that it does more damage per shot, and I do better with them than the 12 guns for some reason. It's weird because I do very well in a Montana. You'd think I'd do great with the 12 guns, but I don't.
Yeah, the Conqueror's guns handle completely different from Montana's.
Alright, so any other tips for people trying to rank out? Now we can move on to the next topic.
Survival versus objective. Survival is much more important. If you keep your guns in the game, you have a better chance of winning. Seen way too many people play objective too hard.
If you have 2 caps, you're not going to lose on points. Don't push.
Yes.
I mean, you may have to do some mental math there, but
Something that helped me out last season that I'm
crossfire
trying to
angles.
do here is play a ship till you lose, and then either take a break, or if you kept your star, play again. But if you lose 2 in a row, even if you keep your star both, take a break.
That's
definitely be
stay
careful of getting
positive.
tilted. You play a lot worse when you're tilted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been tilted quite a few times this season for sure.
Are you using a zoom out mod, Skywell?
I use a field of view X25 mod, not a zoom out.
Okay.
Knowing which ships to focus is also very important. Like, if you look at a team's lineup, sometimes you'll notice they may have 1 cruiser or 1 destroyer. In that case, you always shoot at them, or at least they take priority over everyone else. Because if you can remove their only destroyer or cruiser, or even only battleship from the equation, that gives your team a lot more options.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on in your replay, Skywell. It looks like you're not moving at all.
At one point, I know I crashed the desktop in one of these matches. I don't know if it's this or the Conqueror's match, but I get back in. I think I'm moving my turrets in this.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so next question then. Is there anybody who is struggling this season with ranked?
Me. Skywell. 6 to 10 has great teamwork, but the 5 to 2 bracket seemed to have no teamwork.
Interesting.
Everybody's just playing for their star.
Yeah, I found it was the opposite when I ranked out, but that's probably because I ranked out earlier.
Yeah, earlier on, 6 to 10 was shitty team play, but this last week and a half, it's all been great hit 6 to 10.
It's been time dependent for me. I just ranked out today, and I honestly had more success on the weekends than the weekdays for some reason.
Yeah, that's funny. I've been having good days on Saturdays usually.
I think Friday's weekend player base tends to be a little bit less skilled, so it's a bit easier to save your star and win if you're better, of course.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah,
able
I'm just
to
above average.
influence more games then.
That's an interesting consideration. Depending on your capabilities as a player, when you play can have an impact as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm definitely in the above average category, but not like I'm nowhere near good, great.
Same.
So, Skywell, what are you? What's the reason that you're struggling? Is it just that the teams aren't providing good teamwork?
Just no communication, and they'll start blaming each other. Mostly, they'll start bickering instead of figuring out a plan. That kind of shit. I do it occasionally too. Like I'll start and I'll be really like assholey on a certain days in chat and shit. I've been chat banned like twice this season,
Mm.
and I deserved it both times. No point in lying about it. I totally deserved my chat bans this season.
I've only gotten into an argument once with somebody who thought I was trying to save a star when I was trying to try to create a crossfire because I wasn't taking any damage. I wasn't being focused, and they reamed me out, and I got reported for trying to help the team even though it looked like I wasn't.
The biggest thing I have is people won't shoot detected destroyers or radar boats. They just constantly want to damage farm the battleships.
So, how do you change that? How do you work with the team more and get them to communicate?
I don't know if there's an answer for that, but I try to communicate that in the beginning. I try to use Google Translate when I see some Hispanic players in the match, that kind of stuff. And I even got called a racist because I was Google translating stuff for them, and I said, "Well, that's not racism. That's linguicism.
Yeah.
Get it right at least." And I don't know. It just depends. Sometimes, some days I get really good response from the communication. Other times I just get a bunch of people that won't communicate at all. That they won't even respond one way or the other.
I find using hotkeys to be pretty effective.
Yeah, that's what worked for me a lot. Is just I'll do F3s on targets. If someone takes down the target we're trying to do, I'll always do thank you or well done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I give out a lot of compliments, and I even tell them when we do a good job. I do comps around, like I tell them compliments around team, and I give everybody on the team a compliment. I rarely hit my reports, but I'll report people that are absolutely on the edge of the map, just damage farming from afar. Unless they actually kited the enemy out there, then I'll say, yeah, that was a pretty good job. But if they just started on the edge and they're just trying to stay alive and damage farm.
Oh, I'm curious. Why do I keep hearing your horn going off?
I don't horn a lot.
It'd be a bug, I'm guessing.
Psychological warfare.
Oh, sometimes I type out like, if you hear the horn a honking, it's too late.
Oh my god.
I try to make light of stuff and get people to laugh.
I try to greet people cordially at the beginning of a battle. Kind of helps set the right tone sometimes.
Yeah.
And I always just I just have plan question marks in chat usually.
Yes. I do that during randoms too, just to keep it open. I just want to hear something.
Here's your horn again. Alright, well, is there anybody else?
I know.
Is there anybody
That's
else
me
that's...
doing it all the time. Yeah, that's not a bug. That's me doing it.
That's awesome. I actually mapped my horn to the V key so I can hit it very easily as well. Maybe I should do that more. So is there anybody else who's struggling this season?
I think ranked every season is a struggle for me to some extent, and mostly it's the psychological, the dealing with the bad players. There's a lot of valid complaints, and if you focus on them, it'll impact your will to actually play this game mode.
Last season was my first, and I did it in 400 on the dot. But this tier 10 ranked season is definitely a lot harder to carry in.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just gotta focus on what you can do, and if you don't get out in the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you just keep at it.
It's honestly
Yeah,
the
and it's
willpower
only
just to
been
keep
like
hitting
2
the
or so
battle
weeks.
button.
Definitely. I mean, if somebody can rank out with a 48% win rate and it takes them a couple thousand battles, you just got to keep pushing that button.
Although we do kind of feel sorry for those who end up on his team.
Yeah. There's some players in particular that always play like the edge of the map, and then they blame their team. Like I remember last season, there was a North Carolina that all the time was on the edge of the map. He had artillery plotting room plus spotting plane to shoot at the enemy. Did very low damage and was cussing at us all season long.
I think I remember
That was
that
D.
guy.
Crawford from Clan Diggle.
Yes, I remember a in North Carolina who went with the range and then proceeded to sail around the outside of the map.
Yeah, I do a lot of look around shit too here. Seeing
That's a
what I
good
might
thing.
have
That's a good habit.
seeing what I might have a better shot angle at, or what I might need to dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Any of you guys running out of credits?
No.
Nope, I'm at 118 million now.
Well, I run out of credits when I buy new things, but ever since I started Bitcoin mining with Zath here, I haven't run out of any.
Well, when my premium ran out, I was at about 80k or 80 million or so, and now I'm only down to 50 million.
I'm
like my
holding
WoW
steady at
account.
about 440.
That's like my WoW account. Like, I quit playing at 50 million credits. I haven't logged back in since like the first week of 2.0 WoW.
I've got 48 mil. That's after I've bought all the tier 10 surface ships, so I don't have anything to spend it on yet.
No.
Well, because one thing I was really worried about was that people would run out of credits and wouldn't be able to play anymore.
Yeah, that is a problem.
I think to help reduce salt, I go play a couple random games with the good flags.
Oh hell yeah.
I like this Cobros completely ignores the A cap.
Yeah, he's still just coming after me.
Can't believe the shim's been spotted that long.
Yeah. I keep telling people to shoot at it.
Nice. It's a hell of a salvo.
Like,
Another thing I notice, sometimes I get like intimidated by the hurricane tags, and I've learned not to be
Yeah.
after playing so many ranked battles.
But just go to... I mean, I run
Yeah.
completely vanilla. Let's be honest, I should reinstall Navigator.
What's the name of this mod that gives the time for the cap down? That's a good
Score
one I
timer, I
need to
think.
Yeah, that seems very useful.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that.
Mhm.
Is there like a link to a manual about how the point system works? I don't do much like number
I
crunching.
mean, you
when
can
it
hit
comes-
tab and see the point counters in game for each mode.
Uh-huh.
Varies depending upon the mode.
Yeah, I do a quick calculate on tab key in the beginning of the match so I can tell people, you know,
Oh, you overextended
rough
here.
estimate. Yeah, I did.
I mean,
What you should have done is just beach on an island on top of you, so you can limit angles from that Montana and that
Oh yeah.
Henry.
But watch as they make big mistakes not capitalizing on it.
You mean the enemy makes mistakes? Less than
Oh, yeah. I way overshot that island.
And this Rear Yang is opening fire on Montana. Oh.
Yeah, I tried
Nice
to tell him
move.
not to fire.
yeah, he's got another Montana and the Honorary there. Then the cab probably coming back, so the cab's slowish.
Well, you win in 18 seconds.
Yeah, I guess that's why. So unless it gets deleted, you're okay.
Mhm.
So waterline versus armor
died.
belt shot there. Would anything have happened if you aimed the waterline instead? Or is it two angles?
I'm not sure.
Where? You're shooting... He's got HE loaded still, so you don't want to hit the waterline, or
I
you're
was
going to...
AP loaded when he asked.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess I must be lagging a bit.
I'm not sure because I knew he was going to turn out. So I just like, well, super structure will at least give me some damage.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, these guys here did kill the gang.
And
Well, you're holding... Yeah, you just need to survive now.
That duck needs to hold up for 5 seconds longer.
Conqueror just needs to survive. LOL.
I mean, he's got no heal and no repair, so...
Of all
If you don't
ships
have
to say
either of those
survive.
up, you die fast.
Well, that would be a solo warrior, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That was
Nice.
Fireproof, Dreadnought, Solo Warrior, and High Caliber.
Your game was so epic that
Impressive.
that it crashed afterwards. Couldn't handle the epicness.
You crashed the desktop just now?
Yeah. All right, Tedster sent me a replay in the Republic, so I'm gonna put that one up now.
Yeah, that's a ranked game with Blah on my team.
Hmm.
Well, that was certainly a good reprieve from playing ranked, is watching ranked battles for a minute. Replay it.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, I almost want to dust off my Conqueror now. Jeez.
Conqueror is fun, but I find Yamato to be a little bit better for actually winning.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I tried Conquer, but yeah, Yamato and